Happy Monday. What's going on? I'm one half for the Man-to-Man Pod AB, September 18th. Man, we got a good show today. D-Butt, he's going to be jumping on a little bit later. But as always, man, a good Monday to talk some Sunday football. We had yesterday some really good matchups. We're going to talk Thursday night football past the last Thursday, Minnesota at Philly, since we weren't able to touch on that. Colorado State. It was a lot of chit chat going into Saturday night's game. Ended up being a spectacular game, 10 o'clock Eastern time, but I think a lot of people stayed up for the entirety of that game. So we're going to touch on that. When D-Bud jump in, he got a little bit of F1 to talk about. But again, in the comments, talk about your team. How did they do on Sunday? How did they look? Obviously, we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, Cincinnati Bengals, my Cincinnati Bengals, and Joe Burrow. They starting off a little slow this year at 0-2. Some divisional matchups, Baltimore, Cincinnati. San Fran still looking good. Miami looking good. Dallas, they looking good as well. So again, man, in the comments section, we love the interaction. So y'all tap in with us. See y'all on the other side.
Yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man. In me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad, just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Man to man, man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it.
Man, we back. Man, let's jump right into it. Saturday night, man, we had a good matchup. Colorado and Colorado State. A real good matchup here. Colorado 43-35, double overtime. And it's a lot to talk about here. First, man, let's talk about Deion and what he's doing to Colorado and the whole atmosphere, man. We seen what he did at Jackson State, bringing a lot of, I guess, A-lister, B-listers, C-listers to the sidelines, man. So it's good to see just the morale and what he's able to do at Colorado in Boulder. Shedeur, his first 3 games, man. Obviously, I would have him top 2 in the Heisman race right now. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, was, I think, it was a suspect hit. Was taken out of the game, took him to the hospital. So obviously, we waiting to hear some updates on Travis Hunter. But Shedeur, just his first 3 games and the way he's playing that position, putting the book back on. He put the book back on Saturday, man. Led his team. They were down like 2 scores, and the way he was able to chop that Colorado State defense up, man, that shit was good to see. again, from a HBCU alum, we get a lot of hate as far as, the level of play, the competition level. Yo, what's good? What's good?
What's happening?
You good?
Yes, sir.
DB tapped in from the Thunderdome out there in Indy.
Zeke got me right.
Yeah. Shit. Before we keep going to this Colorado State, weekend was good. Everything was good.
Yeah, weekend was solid. Weekend was great, man. Had some obviously some great football games yesterday. A lot of 10 one-score games. Coach Prime, I heard you talking about it. Coach Prime kept us all up late. I know those numbers got to be crazy with that Saturday night. 10:30 kickoff.
Facts.
So been rolling. Obviously traveled in the Indy last night. But the weekend was great, man. What about you? I missed the intro. Getting set up.
It was all good, man. Weekend was good. Traveling a little bit. Maryland, DC. Shit, man. We'll be back with our folks here on the Man to Man. But like we were talking about the Colorado State, man, and what Prime is been able to do out there in Boulder. Had Tunchi out there, had everybody on the sideline, and shit. Even before the game, his sunglass brand, shit almost brought in $2 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Coach Prime, man, shit, he can't lose right now. Then you got your son playing the quarterback position, playing really, really well. Like I said, he put the book bag on Saturday night. He said he wanted to go Brady mode, and he definitely did that.
Yeah.
Shallow had a big game, had a pick six, had a forced fumble. But I just feel like the entire Colorado team, shit. Colorado, I forgot the young man name, the tight end. I feel like he had
Michael some 87.
Yeah, 87. He had a game. You know what I mean? With Travis Hunter going out, he had a game. But Colorado 3-0. I don't care who you are. I think the only people that had Colorado being 3-0 at this juncture of the season is Coach Prime and the people in that building.
He believed.
Yep. And if anybody else outside of that building said they thought Colorado would be 3-0, you a damn lie.
Hey, I wouldn't say that. Now, a lot of people bought in. A lot of people
bought in, but nobody thought Colorado would be 3-0 right now, D-Buck.
Hey, I didn't. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie.
That's why I say,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't. But I know it's some people that probably had some belief in them. But I have belief in the
people in that locker room, them players, them coaches, the training staff. They thought that they would come out and be 3-0. Now, did we think Coach Prime was going to turn that program around? I think everybody believed that.
Yeah. Well, not everybody. A lot of people had their doubts about him going the upper level into the Power 5 and say, hey, because look, Colorado had been some shit for a long time. Won the 11 last year. Obviously, after he came in and said what he was going to do, like, hey, right now, if you think about it, getting that portal lead, I'm coming here with my Louis. Son gonna be my quarterback. So a lot of people probably had their doubts that style or that thing could ever work because it's just it's different. It's always different with Coach Prime, and it's crazy. Like you mentioned it, Coach Jay Norvell, gave him that extra gas this week, and there had been some other comments made with the coaches previous. He threw that gas on the fire, and then he dropped the sunglass line. It's crazy how God works. He had been working on them sunglasses, that brand, for like some time now. I want to say back into his Jackson State days, and then he probably was like, you know what, it's the perfect time to drop him right now. And it was sketchy. A lot of it was touching.
About it.
Touching. What's up? Oh, let me close this door real quick.
Now that you say that, man.
Hold on.
Hey, D-Buck got me thinking now. I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but he said been working on it for a long time, and it's kind of crazy that Coach Norvell would make a comment like that. I don't know the man, but he said that my mom taught me that when I speak to adults, I take my sunglasses and my hat off.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna put that out there, but it just came. It's interesting. It was just perfect timing, perfect timing. But like you said, he threw gasoline on that fire. But this is what I am gonna say. Colorado State, they came to play.
Oh, facts.
They came to play, in-state rivalry. So they came to play. It was a entertaining game for sure.
Yeah. And they had their coaches back, so you definitely gotta respect that, how they showed up. And I know you were sitting over there too, just like I was, like, man, when the hell are they gonna adjust and stop these damn crossing routes on offense? I felt like they threw low crosses all night, but they came out. You could tell their mindset was to be physical. Hit the quarterback. You saw you mentioned it briefly, that late hit on Travis Hunter. It's a fine line between being physical and being dirty, and I felt like that was for sure dirty. Well after the play, gave him a shot right into a lot of people that may not look like the hardest hit in the world, but when somebody hits you like that in your sternum and that chest neck area, especially when you're not expecting it, ball going, took 2 steps out, you right there with the corner, and somebody just come put a shoulder in your sternum. That's tough, and it's unfortunate. I think Coach Prime said he'll be, he went to the hospital and he'll be out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Got a huge game coming up where they're like 17.5-point dogs against Oregon. So you absolutely hate to see that with a weapon like Travis Hunter is. But first and foremost, we hope he's healthy and okay. And then we want to see him out there sooner or later. I know they got USC at the end of the month as well. But hated to see that, man. But like you said, that Colorado State, they came out. And that shit was real. Hey, Coach Prime, he had them shades off by the first quarter. Had them shit got real out there. So you got to salute that them boys. They showed up. I think they were 3 touchdown underdogs, and like you said, rivalry game. And this week, I don't think any of the top 5 teams for sure covered. Bama was in a dogfight with USF. They trying to figure out their quarterback. Georgia was in a dogfight with South Carolina.
Yeah.
I know Tennessee, they were ranked 11. They lost to Florida. So it was one of those weeks where you looked at the schedule, you're like, it's not a bunch of good matchups. And then you go and look at them scores. And then all these games were close. But, that's ball, baby. You got to line up and play the game. Nobody don't care what the FanDuel sports book say supposed to happen.
Nah, that's a fact. Let's talk about Shedeur, man. Let's talk about Shedeur. So, at Jackson State last year playing quarterback, HBCU, Coach Prime last year was speaking on this as far as like my son should be in the conversation in the Heisman talks. The last HBCU quarterback to be in those talks was the late great Steve McNair. So obviously, being at that level, some folks, they look down on the competition, the level of play. Then Shedeur, he comes to Colorado, and he's first 3 games, man. He's played spectacular.
Yeah.
For me, I'm here to talk my shit, and Shedeur said it. He was like, shit, my numbers weren't like this on the HBCU level.
That's a fact.
We used to talk about it all the time as far as skill positions. We feel like, we got some dogs on that level as well. Where it changes is 2 places. In the trenches, the O-line, D-line, and then just the depth. But again, man, to see Shedeur go out here first 3 games and then play how he's been playing, and then I honestly feel like this past game, like he had a Heisman moment. You know what I mean? Where his team was down.
Oh yeah.
2 scores, and then even that last drive where you drive 98 yards, like that's a Heisman moment right there.
98.
That's a Heisman moment. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of the haters or the naysayers or the doubters, like you can't knock the eye, like you say, the eye in the sky don't lie.
That him going Brady mode, that was crazy. And obviously everybody was not everybody, but a lot of people that were tuned into that game, I feel like tuned in to see Colorado win. I'm sure there was some people that wanted to see Colorado and Coach Prime fail, especially after everything that was surrounding this game. Obviously, this team, this has been the biggest story, I would say, in sports, since this college football season kicked off and they knocked off TCU. You had Obviously, the Pat McAfee show. You had College Game Day. You had Big Noon Kickoff. You had 60 Minutes. You had everybody in their mama literally up there in this Colorado. So for him to step up in that moment, like you said, the numbers, they hadn't been this good even at Jackson State. And for him to be doing what he's doing from kickoff, and this game wasn't pretty. It didn't start off well. You know, they kind of had his number early. And you saw late in that game, he just said, all right, you know, I just got to put the shit in my own hand. I'm going to run some more. So I'm running a little more than we've seen in the past. Obviously, Travis Hunter not being in the lineup. And then when he had his back against the wall, you know, needed 98 to go. And then, you know, once it got to overtime, obviously need to score, go for 2, et cetera, et cetera. Got that done, man. So I think for sure Heisman moment. Caleb Williams is obviously going to be in that conversation, being the reigning Heisman winner. I believe Caleb Williams, him, Bo Nix is having a really good year. And there's a few other players obviously in that conversation. And it's early, but that was impressive, man. That was impressive to watch. A great weekend. Ended up being a great weekend of college football. And then obviously, you know, leading up to the men's league, a great weekend in the NFL as well. 10 one-score games. Even last night ended up being a one-score game of Sunday Night Football with the Dolphins Patriots. But a lot of good football, a lot of surprises, some 0-2 football teams that we didn't expect, and then a lot of 2-0 football teams we didn't expect either. So once again, that's football. That's you know, you gotta get out there and play them games.
Yeah, and while you talking about it, should we jump right into it? Should Green Bay at Atlanta. Good matchup. You know, we talk about, you know, Jordan Love, you know, how he came out last week, looked well, played well. So even in this game, you know, started off, played good. But Atlanta Falcons, man, one of these surprising teams, I would think. You know, 2-0. You know, you got some young gunners there. Desmond Ridder. You know, Bijan Robinson. Yeah, so you got a lot of young talent over there. And Bijan, man, he's like his stop and go is crazy. Now you talk about Overreaction Monday. This is what it is. Overreaction.
Damn right. Overreaction. Week 2.
Overreaction Monday. But when you talking about Barry Sanders, he's very bad. Barry Sanders-ish. With his stop and go. I'm not saying he is Barry Sanders, but with his stop and go and making defenders miss, and I know it's early. It's overreaction. But if you look at last week,
AB, that's hot. That's you talking about Barry. That's you the tip of the spear right there when you talk about.
And like I said, Barry Sanders-ish.
Okay.
Barry Sanders-ish.
Okay.
Ish. Last week, the way he's able to stop, put his foot in the ground, defenders coming and falling on their face, like, bruh.
He got everything, anything you want when it comes to that running back position. And if this was 10, 15 years ago, he would have been in the conversation at least. Obviously, we know how important that quarterback position is. He would have at least been in that conversation of being the number 1 overall pick with the combined skill set that he has running the ball and catching the ball. And like you said, stop and go, his power, that dead leg, this breakaway speed. Like, he got everything you want at the running back position. And Desmond Ridder taking care of the ball, playing well, made some big throws. Mac Hollins coming in there making some plays. It was that little last touchdown that got called back was I think it should have been a touchdown. A great play though. Them boys starting off 2-0. I know for damn sure I didn't have them coming out the gates 2-0. Shout out to Jordan Love too. Like you said, Jordan Love, you know, getting on page with them young receivers. They couldn't seal the deal. I feel like they should have won this game. I'm sure that locker room feels they should have won it as well.
Yep.
But Coach Smith down there in Atlanta, with, like you said, a young core group of guys getting it done, got the win to hold it down. So that was a good one of many good games from yesterday's slate.
And it's crazy because I'm flicking through. Well, you know, I had my Sunday ticket up. I couldn't have enough games up on the TV. You know, I had the TV, I had the iPad going. So, like you said, man, a lot of good games, a lot of good matchups. yesterday.
Yeah.
We go over to one of our teams, Indianapolis Colts, traveled down to H-Town, man. Got their first win, 31-20. They look good. They look good. AR5 is in concussion protocol right now. Gardner Minshew came in and played really, really good ball. Played some really good ball.
Really good ball, yeah.
Yeah, man. So again, that's the value of having a quarterback on your roster that's had some playing time, knows the system, and able to come in not flooded at all, man. But hopefully, AR5 is back this week. Is one thing. We talked about it game one when they played against Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence went up to him like, "Hey, these hits, man. These hits are a little different up here." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, AR5 is a big guy. Pause.
Yeah, he's big man, Paul.
Big guy. He can, but you don't want to take those hits early in your career. And obviously, the first two games, wasn't able to finish the first game, wasn't able to finish the second game. So that's one thing that, I'm pretty sure in the coach locker room, the coach is gonna be like, look, like, you don't take these unnecessary hits, get down, get out of bounds.
And that's the biggest thing right now, because we know your best ability is availability, and obviously that's something that you took serious in your career, with all the consecutive starts that you had as a starter. And that's the thing, man. You got to be out there, especially as a quarterback, especially as a shot caller. It is great, incredible to have a good backup that can come in and win you a game. Win you a game on the road, divisional game on the road. Gardner Minshew came in and played, like you said, played damn good. But this back-to-back game, we done seen Gardner Minshew at the beginning of the Anthony Richardson era. So he has to keep himself out there on the field as much as possible. Like you said, he is a physical specimen, but the hits add up. We've seen it happen with all of them, from Cam Newton to just everybody who put themselves in harm's way. And he had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first 6 minutes of this game, which obviously got us out to a great start. Our defense, once again, put together a good performance, but finished it, had 6 sacks. And I don't think our offense gave up 1 sack. So that's a great recipe for success, especially on the road in your division. So shout out to our coach and Coach Shane Steichen getting his first win as a head coach to start his era off as well. So now we're 1-1, going into our third game. So that was big for us, especially with the Jags losing. Titans end up getting a win. But then obviously we beat the Texans here too. So we think this is close.
We're gonna talk about that later.
We ain't gotta talk about that. We just covered it. Titans beat the Chargers. 0-2. That's one of the surprising 0-2 teams, at least for me.
Yeah. Then the other one, my other ball.
I was about to say now.
Yeah, but another good game. Seattle at Detroit. I think we both had Detroit in this one.
I had Seattle against the spread, Detroit winning.
Yep. So again, Seattle on the road, Detroit, their home opener. Geno Smith didn't play exceptionally well week 1. Came back week 2, played a better game.
Yep.
Any thoughts on this one? Seattle being able to get that walk-off touchdown. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, great game. Great game, both sides of the ball. Detroit, I believe, gave them 14 points. You can't do that at home. This was another, not obviously to the level of Colorado, but I think the Lions had Barry Sanders. They unveiled the Barry Sanders statue before the game. Megatron was back in the building. Had a lot of, celebrity Lions fans. I know CJGJ had to have some of the fans wearing ski masks and shit, which Seahawks players put on after the game. So there's a lot of hype going into this game, and, rightfully so. Lions coming off a huge week 1 win to open the NFL season over the defending champs. But you can't play as sloppy as they did in some of the situations. Jared Goff threw his first interception in I don't know how long. I think he was 40 attempts away from setting a new record of pass attempts without throwing an interception. He threw a pick 6 on that one, so that hurt.
Ray Brown, shout out.
Yeah. So in Seattle, Geno Smith, he going to Tyler Lockett, who has quietly been one of the best receivers in this league for a long time. He gets the ball, extends it out the pylon, which he said, hey, I might get in trouble for that. Our coaches harped on that. Obviously, after that Justin Jefferson touchback on prime time, I'm sure a lot of the coaches around the league was harping on that rule and taking care of the ball around the pylon. But reach it out, put it on the pylon, walk-off touchdown, 37-31, another incredible game. Two quarterbacks who are, playing well. They played well last year, and it was good to see them both play well again. Obviously, we talked about the golf mistake, but I think he had a pretty solid game outside of that.
Yeah, and I think Detroit, man, like you said, I feel as though they definitely should have won this game. Seattle, they did what they needed to do, but looking promising. Like both of these teams, I think these are going to be two teams that we're going to be talking about when we get to November, December, as far as making that playoff run. But really, two really good teams, well coached teams with a lot of talent, man. So early in this season, man, but you can see promising seasons for both of these teams, though.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about bum ass team, D-Buck team.
Yeah, we go right.
Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, it's a lot of talk here. Justin Herbert, one of the good young quarterbacks in the league, got that bag this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Starting off 0-2 at Tennessee. I think we both had, the Chargers winning this one. But again, man, Tennessee Titans were able to come up with a big win. Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, D-Hop, and then the defense. Defense at Tennessee, you can always expect them to come out and play tough, man. Your thoughts on one of your teams, man, and not getting it done yesterday, man.
Had Herbert stat, but I mean, it's just I ain't gonna put it all on the players out there. They got to get it done too. But Herbert had a pretty clean game. Eckler's banged up, missed it, but you just got to find a way to win. It's a fine line of winning and losing in this league, and a lot of people are going to point at Brandon Staley and the head coach. You saw him after the game get pissed off at one of the reporters talking about, which, rightfully so, I guess, still talking about the Jaguars 27-0 comeback, that loss in the playoffs. Is it a hangover type situation? And he's like, nah, it ain't a hangover. These players in there, they're finishers, they're good players. We just haven't found a way to finish and win these games. And it's tough, it's tough to win the league, which it is. And it's a fine line between winning and losing. We say it every week. But Mike Vrabel, he, I believe, has like 23 wins in the last 2 years or something like that, being the underdog. So he's never anybody's underdog. He's going to have his team prepared, ready to win. Tannehill made some big throws and big moments in this game. And King Henry, doing what he does, being that battering ram that he is back there, running back. Simmons made some big plays. I mean, their big-time players made big plays when they needed to and found a way to get a win, at home. And that's always a good feeling, especially against a good football team. The Chargers got to be sick. It's back-to-back losses now. They didn't combine 2 losses by combined 5 points. They lost by 2 last week, 36-34 to the Dolphins, and now 27-24 to the Titans. So, they sick right now. A lot of teams, everybody that's 0-2 right now is sick, regardless of how you lost them. But I still think the Chargers, I think they'll be all right this year. I think they'll.
No, you hope so.
I think they'll be all right this year. I think the Chiefs are going to figure. We're going to talk about the Chiefs. Chiefs figured out. Broncos, I don't know. Raiders, shit, I don't know. But the Chargers, they'll be all right.
You hope so.
They'll be all right.
You hope so.
You lose you hitting the panic button on the Chargers already?
I mean, you 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
That shit ain't never good. You only got 17 of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shit, every game is important. Right. So they have the talent, but hey, you got to not the panic button yet. Shit ain't looking too good, D-Buck.
Well, shit, let's get to that Bengals-Ravens game, man.
So Las Vegas at Buffalo. Las Vegas at Buffalo. Buffalo coming off a ugly, I would say Josh Allen definitely coming off ugly week 1 performance.
Definitely.
Obviously, home opener this week against those Las Vegas Raiders, man. And I think we, all kind of expected, a different showing from the Buffalo Bills, man. And they punished the Las Vegas Raiders. They punished them. It was a good showing. Josh Allen came out, played much better.
Yep.
Jimmy G and the Las Vegas Raiders, man, they gotta get it together over there. Speaking of Raiders, man, I don't know what's going on with one of our guys. Chandler Jones hasn't suited up for them.
Yeah,
not sure. I've been reading some stuff, but I'm not. I don't want to even get on that. But on the Bills, man, and their rebound after we won.
That's what you want to see. A lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks, big time quarterbacks had slow starts in week 1, and this is what you want to see from a team that I think all have high expectations for, and big time players, big time quarterbacks like Josh Allen, who also we have high expectations for. So for him to bounce back, play a pretty clean game for the most part, made some spectacular plays out there. And the Raiders actually started out the best way you could, especially on the road. They came down, marched right down the field, took a 7-zip lead, and then on defense, I think had a 3-and-out immediately. And then for some reason, I know they couldn't get Josh Jacobs going at all in the run game, but it all went downhill from there for them. So they lose by 4 scores after eking out a win in week 1. But they sit at 1-1. So you feel shitty with this one. Buffalo's obviously a tough place to play. But hopefully you flip the switch and move on and have a better week next week. But this was ugly. This was one of the biggest spreads going into the weekend as well. I think the Bills were like around 8-point favorites in this one. So I took the Raiders to cover. Had the Bills winning, but that obviously did not go well. I feel like I was around about 500 this week with the spread.
With the Bills, man, you got you had the Jets. I think coming in, I'm not sure how we had the division, the AFC East, with the Jets, the Bills, New England, and Miami. But with the loss of Aaron Rodgers for the Jets, obviously, the loss with Aaron Rodgers. Yep. How do you see the Buffalo Bills in that AFC East right now? Do you have them you probably got them number 2 behind the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, I got them number 2 behind the Dolphins. And coming into the year, they were kind of there too. It was going to be either them or the Dolphins. For me, at least, I had the Jets winning this division going into the year. But obviously, like you said, with the injury to Rodgers, and kind of cheating now, we see how the Dolphins and Tua is playing. We can keep him healthy.
Yeah,
definitely. I think will be the class of the AFC East this year. If everybody can stay healthy. Love what Mike McDaniel's doing on that offense. The defense, you saw them play better last night against the Patriots. So yeah, I would have the Dolphins 1. I would have Bills 2. And shoot, I don't know where I would put the Patriots and the Jets at 3 and 4, but I don't think it'll really matter.
Yeah, you can lock them up in there together. Shit, it ain't gonna matter. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, not this year. Not this year, buddy.
Yeah. So this was my upset of the week. Jacksonville. I thought Jacksonville was going to be able to pull this one off at home against Kansas City. A really, really good game, good matchup. Jacksonville had some opportunities. They couldn't finish down there in the red zone, but as always, good teams find ways to win games. Yeah. Kansas City had Travis Kelce back in the lineup, Chris Jones back on the defense side of the ball, who came in, made it immediate impact on that defense, on that defensive line. And you seen they got Tony involved as well. He had a lot of drops that first game, but he was able to get involved. I'm still high on Jacksonville, yo. Like,
as you should be.
Yeah. I'm still high on them. Trevor Lawrence, man. Christian Kirk had a good a big game. ETN, you still got Ridley out there. So they came to play, and even the defense being able to hold this high-powered offense to 17 points. Obviously, you didn't get the win, but in that defensive meeting room, that's a win. Holding them to 17 points, like that's you want to keep a offense to 14 to 17 points and you feel as though, you got a chance to win the game. So even though it's a loss, no more victories here in this game, but you can go back and say, look, we was in this game. We had plenty of opportunities to win.
Yeah, good. The defense of me, like you said, you never feeling good after a loss, but you believe in what the coach is preaching. You believe in your teammates. You believe in the scheme. You got to believe in all that and be pretty confident with all those things. Going into week 3, like you said, you always want to get a win, and they couldn't get that done. And you mentioned a high-powered offense. Obviously, we got Patrick Mahomes. We got Andy Reid over there with the headset on, still a head coach. So we believe that they will figure things out. But up until now, this offense been looking stank. It's been looking like it's taking a huge step back with the departure of Eric Bieniemy. Now, I said it yesterday. I'm like, who? Right now, like I said, it's early, but it looks like they're missing EB leaving more than even Tyreek Hill leaving that team, who's I think is the best receiver in football. So, what do you think is going to happen with this Kansas City Chiefs offense with Matt Nagy at the helm? Because it looks Patrick Mahomes hasn't been playing great, I don't think, and I've said it for years now. I think Patrick Mahomes, even when he's playing his best, he's one of those quarterbacks that he's going to give you a few opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And for some reason, over the years, I feel like guys have dropped more Mahomes interceptions than anybody else. But he's going to give you those opportunities, and obviously he's going to make his fair share of fantastic plays to make up for that usually. But the offense in general, just the whole scheme, just don't look on point. Right tackle, the whole world was snitching on him after week 1 with him lying in the backfield, false starting. The refs was on his head. They obviously made a point of that. He had like 5 penalties in this game, got benched for a little bit. But even the receivers, just everything, just don't look as crisp right now. Are you worried at all with this Chiefs team? I knew they wouldn't start off 0-2. I knew they'd find a way to get a win. But are you worried at all with this offensive output so far with the Chiefs?
I'm not. I think Eric Bieniemy is a huge departure. Obviously, you can see what the Commanders are over there doing. They're doing their thing. But also, when you do have an intricate piece that ends up leaving, I think it is going to take time. I think it is going to take time to kind of figure out, okay, well, where are we good at? Yep. Where can we play to our strengths? And again, I think that's going to take time. It's different where you in training camp and you calling plays against your defense and it's looking good or whatever. And then you go into the preseason, we're not getting that many snaps. So just like it is for players when we seeing them coming out and not playing a lot of reps in preseason, looking a little sloppy first couple of weeks, shit, it could be like that for the coaches as well. Yeah, I know we hear there's no excuses, no explanations. But to your point, having the best quarterback in the game, having the best tight end in the game, Andy Reid, when he calls the plays, he can dial it up as well. So I'm not that concerned just because of, it is what it is. You know what they can do. I just feel as though they're gonna have to get it going. You're gonna go in the building. You're gonna self-scout. All right, it's not working for us. Let's scratch this shit out. Okay, well, this is why this didn't work. So let's correct it. Let's correct this.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fine on the offense side of the ball.
We not overreacting yet with the Chiefs offense.
Not yet.
And Matt Nagy been the OC because we know big part of the OC's job, and they always say Andy Reid was calling plays when EB was there, so I would assume so that's still the case, but who knows? But it's a lot more that goes into being an OC than calling plays. That's throughout the week, making sure people are on point with where they are in the routes, where they are in the field, how they're running routes, the motions, the shifts, the quarterback, his reads and progressions in certain coverages, the red zone play, all these different things that the offensive coordinator typically is responsible for, while the head coach is doing his head coach thing, even if he is, involved in calling plays as well. So, but we think they'll figure it out. Andy Reid's been a great coach for a long, long time in this league. So, nobody's hitting the panic button just yet.
Not yet. They sitting at 1-1. So, here's another surprising 0-2 team. Cincinnati Bengals, divisional matchup. You talk about another quarterback that didn't play. Well, both of these quarterbacks really didn't play that well week 1. Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Baltimore Ravens on the road in Cincy. Lamar Jackson, man, he came out and he played way better. Finding his receivers on all levels, on the second level, down the field, big time post route to Zay Flowers. More, I would say Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 0-2. Well, Baltimore's 1-1. Cleveland Browns.
Baltimore 2-0.
2-0. I'm sorry, my fault. Yeah, 2-0. They was able to get that win last week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, man, they putting themselves in a hole. And again, this is I don't think this is an overreaction. 0-2 in your first 2 weeks against divisional opponents. You digging yourself a hole. Obviously, you got 15 games left, but this is not what Cincy expected.
Yeah, and I believe they started off 0-2 last year too, and made a run and figured things out. But your quarterback missed most of training camp. Obviously missed the preseason, and the biggest story coming out of this game was him saying he tweaked his calf again, which is a big thing. We saw Andrew Luck before he hung it up. He had a lingering what they call a calf issue for a while, calf ankle. Aaron Rodgers before the Achilles injury, he had a calf issue. So the calves, these soft tissue issues, they're usually a bigger things, especially when they linger this long. So I was concerned with that. He said, going to give it a couple more sleeps to see how he feels. But him tweaking that late in this game, he did start to play better because it was a while there. They were even getting booed, I believe, at home because of their offensive production, which you never want to see. With the cast of guys that they have as pass catchers, and then you have the highest paid quarterback in NFL history, which deservingly so, made a Super Bowl already, was the #1 overall pick, and has done everything that you want a quarterback to do up until this point in his career, on and off the field. So, but we got, like you said, digging yourself a hole. The Browns, they play again tonight. We'll see if they can get another win, but obviously they got to win first week. Baltimore, even playing ugly last week, was able to find a way to get a win, which Lamar and that team seems like they always can do. And then obviously the Steelers, you got to assume that they figure things out. But, the Bengals, you sound a little concerned.
Yeah.
You sound a little concerned. Back-to-back division. We talked about divisional games early. Even our Colts figured out a way to go 1-1 in the division out the gate, man. So you think you concerned about this team making the playoffs? I picked the Ravens to win this division coming in.
Man, hey,
let's make the offs, man. I know it's early.
It's early, man. So I got my finger on the panic button. I'm not pressing it yet because, to your point, on the defensive side of the ball, you lose Jesse Bates. We see him week 1. He went crazy. That's like a presence in the locker room. On the field, obviously, you talking about Joe Burrow, and we talked about it. Like those type of injuries are tough. Like even if you think you good, like those type of injuries, you said it, linger throughout the year. For him saying that he tweaked it, okay, well, we're gonna obviously evaluate and see how he feel throughout the week. But again, man, 0-2, you lose 2 divisional games. Like that's. Obviously, they have the talent to be able to dig themselves out of this hole, but this is definitely not the way you want to start the season. So again, they've had some success. They know what it looks like to win games. They know what it looks like to grind it out. Like you said, they started 0-2 last year, but got my fingers is itching over toward that panic button. Obviously, next couple of weeks, if you can come out of this first quarter and you win these next 2 games, things look much better.
Mm-hmm.
But gotta find a win next week somehow, some way. Gotta figure it out
somehow, some way. And let's hope Joe Burrow is healthy and it was just a minor tweak and it's something he can work and play through. For sure.
Yeah, we're going Chicago, man. Chicago, man, it's looking rough over there. I want to get your opinion on the quarterback situation and quarterback play over there. But Tampa Bay, man, 2-0. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, they defense, man, they over there cooking. Y'all thought Tampa Bay, it was done since Tom Brady shut it down. But Baker Mayfield said, shit, I got another story for you. But Justin Fields, man, I want to ask you, Justin Fields, it's a report that, he's not playing well.
Yeah, you can see that, yeah.
He's not playing well. Missed some big-time reads yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your synopsis? What is DB synopsis on the young QB, man? Week 2, we overreaction Monday. You hitting the panic button.
I'm hitting the panic button for sure on this Chicago Bears football team. Now I didn't expect greatness. I didn't expect, an MVP type year from Justin Fields or anything remotely close to that. But I did expect the offense to look better. I expected them to function better. Obviously, bringing over DJ Moore. Expect the offensive line to be better, and expected Justin Fields to take a step at quarterback. Playing quarterback, and a lot of that comes with your drops, your read progressions, your accuracy, all these different things. And he hasn't been on point with that. He made some plays, some throws, and flashes, yesterday, which is something that we saw him do last year. We're going to see all the quarterbacks are going to do that. All the players are going to do that because everybody has the talent. But playing quarterback in this league specifically is about consistency. And a lot of the things, you look at the mechanics, you look at and not just him, even the whole offense as a whole, like the spacing and the routes. I saw Dan Orlowski posted a video this morning with some spacing. You got receivers standing, 2 yards away from each other at the stick. So, you got to look at the coaching. You got to look at the players. You got to look at the coaching as well. And I just don't see progress there. So that's concerning going into week 3 right now, second year as a full-time starter. Just third year, that's pretty much a full-time starter. So you got to see progression there, and we haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, I'm hitting the panic button on the Bears. They just don't look like a good football team.
Yeah.
They just don't look like a good football team. It's as simple as that. And on the flip side of that, the Buccaneers do. The Bucs look like a good football team. They surprised a lot of people. I know they surprised me last week beating the Vikings, and now you come out and play another good game. And Baker Mayfield, he's doing his thing. He's looking good. He's playing well. Mike Evans, who
pay the man.
Hey, first of all, pay him, make him a lifetime Buccaneer. He'll go down as the best receiver in that franchise's history. He's been consistent. Every year he's going to give you 11, 1,200 yards and 12, 13 touchdowns, which is crazy. But he's been doing that throughout his career, even before Brady. And now you see on pace after Brady. So pay Mike Evans for sure. The Bucs look good. Not going to push the, sold on the Bucs button yet.
Yeah.
But definitely hitting the panic button on them Chicago Bears, man. And disappointing. It's a very disappointing start for that team and even for the league in some way, because the Chicago Bears, I think, is better for the NFL when the Chicago Bears are the football team.
Yeah. Before we go any further, man, definitely want to give a shout out to FanDuel, the sponsor of this podcast, the Man to Man podcast. Appreciate them for everything they do. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna put this read out real quick and see over under. We're gonna set the over under at 3.5 for the.
Keep in mind now, listeners. We going into week 3 now. I'm talking about players. I'm talking about coaches making adjustments, getting better. Just keep that in mind.
3.5. Let's listen to it.
Snapping to action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That is $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get into the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/M2M Live and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Nah, that don't sound smooth, D-Buck.
Very smooth, man. Y'all put your guests in the chat. It feels smooth. You can still sound a little stuffy. I'm a little wouldn't say under the weather, but a little congested. But yeah, man. Shout out to the sports book, man.
That don't sound pretty smooth. I'm gonna give you under 3.5 on that one. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna go on the under.
All right. I'll let you know at the end. See who's right, who's wrong in the chat.
Hey, next game up, man. These teams always play each other tough. Yep. I don't care what the records. You can throw the records out the window when these two teams.
I think this is 12 though for your former squad. I think there's 12 in a row for the Niners over the Rams. With that being said, they always play tough. 49ers, Brock Purdy led 30-23, and it seems the 49ers they travel well. Oh yeah,
they always gonna be in the building. If we doing power rankings, man, I got San Fran number 1.
Ooh.
I got San Fran number 1. And I know, you look at Dallas.
Yep.
You look at Philly.
Yep.
And the reason why Miami. Yep, Miami. The reason why I would put San Fran there is because I feel so you look at
You got me, pal?
Ahoy.
Okay. Sorry, I had to reconnect an adapter.
Yeah,
make sure it works.
Am I talking?
You're good, brother.
All right, thanks.
Good.
Yeah.
It's happening on us. But Miami, right? Offense is playing well, but the defense got to get rolling.
Yeah.
You
got your former coach over there.
Yep. Vic Fangio, shout out. I would say when you look at Dallas, that defense is rolling over there. But I'm not so right now, just as far as what the offense is going to look like. And then Philly defense, Jay Hurts, they going to get it going too. But right now, this juncture of the season, I feel like San Francisco on offensive side of the ball with what they're doing, and on the defensive side of the ball, I feel like they're the most complete team. Just week 2, we overreacting. I feel like they're the complete team when you look at all 3 phases of the game. That's why I will put San Fran, if we talk about power rankings, I would put them 1 right now.
Yeah, and just to speak on San Fran a little bit more, and Brock Purdy in particular, when you talk about what you want to see from a quarterback and what you want to see as far as progression-wise and getting better and all these, it's Brock Purdy. Like that's what you want to see. When you watch Brock Purdy play as a former 14-year safety, as a former 9-year DB, like you look at the quarterbacks, you look at, okay, how confident is he in his drops and his reads? Is he reading the field? Does he have conviction with his throws? Is he accurate? All these different things. And that's what you see from Brock Purdy. That's what you've seen kind of from day one, honestly. And you only anticipated getting better. For a young quarterback, that's very, very impressive. And you got to rank number 1. So it's hard to argue with the Niners being, number 1 in the power rankings right now. Tapping in the line, but the Cowboys, Michael Parsons, man. Michael Parsons is in the conversation. Been the best player in the league, regardless of position right now. And then you speaking on Dak and the offense. Hey, I don't know what you want to see, AB, but Dak, I think he was 31 for 38 yesterday, and his team fortunately ain't putting him in a position where he got to go out there and be Superman. But he's been good. He's been sharp. CD Lamb went for like 140. The offense is clicking. Mike McCarthy calling the plays now. The offense is clicking. That was against a very, very good defense in the Jets. We saw what they did to the Bills and Josh Allen. So
I'm not sold yet, though, D.
Hey, I might be pushing it. I might be sold on the Dallas Cowboys this year. I ain't gonna lie to you, AB.
I'm sold on the defense for sure. I'm not sold yet. Dak is playing good ball. You know what I mean? But again, I will probably have them right now 2 or 3 in the power rankings right now. I'll definitely have San Fran 1. I will probably have I will have Dallas 2. I'll probably put
my Dolphins. Don't disrespect my Dolphins.
No, it's tough. I'll probably put Philly at 3, Dolphins at 4.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a defensive guy, so Philly defense playing, you know.
We might have to just put that D line is tough, but I might have to put a top 5 together, power rankings, and keep that
Going.
as the season goes on. But that sounds pretty solid. That sounds pretty fair. I think my Dolphins, sitting at 2-0. I think they deserve a little bit more respect. But we'll see.
And they 4.
It's fluid.
32.
I think two should be the lowest for them. But it's fluid. Pause. It's fluid.
All right. It's all good. But now another good game here. Another good one. New York at Arizona went up big. Daniel Jones and the Giants, man, they were able to find a way to crawl back, man, kick that field goal.
Yeah.
Walk-off field goal. Unfortunately, Saquon had to be helped off the field. Apparent ankle injury.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not anything too serious. But anything surprising here? It speaks volume on the New York Giants and their team and Daniel Jones being able to rally back. Arizona dropping the 0-2.
I mean, I think it's something to take away, honestly, for both of these teams. Positive, because you saw what was going on with the Cardinals, especially right before the season kicked off, with them getting rid of Colt McCoy, and we know it's question marks around Kyler Murray. But I think, especially with how this team is playing, I think he will be playing for this team at some point this year once he comes back from that ACL injury. But just how Josh Dobbs and his whole Cardinals team is playing and competing, and I don't think Budda Baker, their best player, wasn't even on the field this week. So for them to jump out to that league, obviously no more victories. They, couldn't get it done. But for them to play how they played, that was a good sign for them. And then for the Giants to fall behind like they did out of the gate, especially after getting embarrassed on national TV in front of the whole NFL audience last week. For them, Daniel Jones and that team to fight back and find a way to get a win on the road, that's huge. That was impressive to me. Obviously, people expect them to win this game. To win after being down like that showed a lot of character. That showed a lot. So now they're sitting at 1-1, and I'm sure feeling great right now because it could be 0-2 like a lot of these other teams. And then that NFC East, shit, I think this is the only what got Cowboys 2-0, Eagles 2-0, Commanders 2-0.
Yeah.
And then the Giants 1-1, and their loss came in the division. So, to start with, this is looking like the best division of ball right now. I know it's early, but so that's a huge, huge win for the Giants to not fall into that 0-2 hole.
Yeah. Nah, you said it, man. Again, no more victories, but I will actually say Arizona, they've come out and played some solid ball, even with their 2 losses. So again, I thought it was going to be a situation where they was going to be getting punished week in, week out, just with some of the moves that they were making like right before the week 1 or whatever the case may be, leading up to week 1. So Arizona Cardinals, they've been playing tough these first 2 weeks, and eventually I feel like, again, early in the season, but I feel like these losses, you learning something when you lose like this. When you lose those games, you learn something, and it can help you down the road, especially in the November, December, when the wins get tough. So Arizona thing. New York Jets at Dallas. We talked about this. We talked about Dallas Cowboys. You just mentioned Dak in the offense getting it rolling, that defense led by Michael Parsons doing what they do, applying that pressure. Dallas sitting at 2-0, looking good.
Real good.
Could this be their year?
Could it be the year?
That's ask that question with the Dallas Cowboys every year, but could this year be their year?
Could it be that it looks like I said, I'm hitting the button on sold as them, and this is the only thing about them is this is what we've seen a lot of times in the regular season, and it's obviously early, but they start what's the defense doing now? 5 points a game now? You say you're a defensive guy. Yeah, they allow 5 per game right now, only through 2 games. Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson to start the season off. Zach Wilson, they're gonna have to figure some things out on offense too. 3 interception game. I think he had 1 in his last game. Didn't get Breece Hall involved for whatever reason. Only 4 touches. He was pretty upset about that after the game. I actually said that's the reason they lost, because he only got 4 touches, and that's why they struggled. So concerning there for the New York Jets, especially them coming in on a lot of high hopes for that team with Aaron Rodgers starting the season off. He'll be out. But the Cowboys, man, I'm sold on them. They look good offensively to me. Dak looks good under control. Pollard, the whole scheme. Mike McCarthy got them boys playing good ball. And then Dan Quinn is looking like he's ready to take another head coaching job somewhere how he has this defense flying around. And it starts with Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons saw, he's been playing like this from jump. 2 All-Pros, 2 Pro Bowl. Like he's going to be in that conversation if he continues on this trajectory. Be one of the greatest all time. He look like he's playing it fast forward when he's up, just always wreaking havoc. And then the guys, on every level is playing some good ball, man. So I'm sold on the Dallas Cowboys. For me, there's no reason not to be at this point. And when the power rankings drop, spoiler alert, they will be in the top 3. With my first power rankings for sure.
Yeah, we seen them get up to a fast start, so show me. But again, they are playing really good ball right now on both sides. They're playing complementary football, and that's all you can ask for. The Jets defensive side, tough outing, and it's good for Dallas Cowboys to be able to come out, put 30 points on a good defense. By the Jets, but Breece Hall should be disappointed, especially when you have Zach Wilson at quarterback. You would hope that you would lean on your running game a little bit more. So for him to only get 4 carries, I'd be mad too. Coaches should be disappointed with themselves, as that's something that can slow that rush down. You incorporate the screen game, the run game, try to tire them out, get some first downs. But if you just try to drop back and pass the ball, you ain't got no chance with the way Micah and those guys are coming out the quarterback. So
no chance.
Washington at Denver, another good game. The Commanders, first time have started 2-0, first time since 2011.
Wow.
When Rex Grossman was their quarterback.
Wow.
Rex.
Long time. It's a
long ass time.
That's a long time. But shout out to Ron Rivera, been the head coach. We obviously he's put himself, I think he's put his foot in his mouth at sometimes to make himself be, the headline as a head coach. Like, hey, does he know what he's doing? Do you know what's going on over there? Is this team heading in the right direction? And they are, coming out 2-0 to start the year off. Beating a tough Broncos team in a tough place to play up there in Denver. It came down, Russell Wilson in their offense made it interesting late with that Hail Mary and the 2-point conversion, that they got off the field and ended up winning this game. But, shout out to Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy. We talked about him earlier coming over. It ain't just osmosis, him just being there. It's tough coaching, which made headlines early. And we've seen the progress that this team and Sam Howell and his offense has made, putting up 35 points against this Broncos defense. Not an easy feat. So shout out to the Commanders, man. Regardless of the expectations outside of that building, starting this season off 2-0, I know they are flying high right now in that facility. What's your thoughts coming out of this one?
Nah, man, the same. For the Commanders to be 2-0, especially all the noise in the off season. You bring Eric Bieniemy. We talked about him earlier. That was a major addition for this team. Sam Howell, he's playing well. But just for that fan base, they've been waiting for this for a long, long, long time. So hopefully they can continue to, just piggyback off the way they started this season. And you talked about the Hail Mary. Russell Wilson Denver Broncos making it tough on that 2-point conversion. Was that PID butt?
It was close.
Yeah,
It was close. I would have threw it. I know,
Yeah.
and you know this too. On those 2-point conversions, on the 4th downs, on Hail Marys, so that's when the refs are gonna let the most shit fly. But to answer your question, if I thought it was PI, even as a DB, yes, I thought it was definitely PI on Sutton on that.
But I respect the refs for not making those calls. I respect that. I'm not mad at it. So again, man, shout out to the Commanders. Shit, 2-0. I think this is one of the surprising teams. I don't think we would have had the Commanders sitting at 2-0 right now. So
I did.
Again, man, it's a good look for them. We talk about Monday Night Football, Game 1. We got 2 games tonight. Divisional matchup down here in the Queen City. Got New Orleans at the Carolina Panthers. New Orleans a 3-point favorite coming into this one. I think New Orleans was your team
to win
this division. How you think it will play out tonight?
I think they win. They win on the road in Carolina. I think they win. I think they cover. I'm actually going to put a parlay out tonight. I'm going to let you know what it's going to be right now before it's probably even on the site. It's going to be Saints winning money line, first and foremost.
Okay.
Michael Thomas over 4.5 catches. So I think Mike Thomas gets at least 5 catches. And then Chris Olave 60 yards or more. So that's going to be the 3-leg parlay. And when it opens, it's going to be at around 4:30. And it may drop after people start betting it. But I think Derek Carr, I think he has a better night tonight. It is a tough defense with the Carolina Panthers, but J.C. Horn is out on their top corner. He'll be out for some weeks with a hamstring injury. And I think that defense will make Bryce Young struggle a little bit again, so which will lead to more offensive possessions and plays for the Saints. So I got the Saints winning this one on the road and covering the 3 points. How you feel about this NFC South matchup?
I'm right there with you. I think the Saints will win this game. I like it. I like the parlay. The parlay is good. I like that. I feel like the front for the Saints gonna get after the young fella. So I think that the Saints, the offense got to get clicking. So I think this could be a good week for them too. But shit, the Panthers, they Burns, they gonna come and they gonna play some ball. Obviously, a divisional matchup. They know what the Saints are capable of doing.
Yep.
Both sides of the ball. So I'm not expecting it to be obviously Vegas, FanDuel. They're expecting the same thing for it to be a close matchup. So, but I do think the Saints, they'll pull this one out though.
Yeah, I think so too. Low under, over under 239.5.
Yeah.
Stay under that. Stay away from that though.
Game number 2.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a dog fight. Divisional matchup, Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland Browns coming off a big win last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh, on 1. 2.5 favorite are the Cleveland Browns. Here over under 38.5.
Expect a dog fight too.
Yeah. This is gonna be a dog fight. Who you got here?
I ain't gonna lie, B. I'm torn on this one because the Steelers, they came out late in the egg last week, got embarrassed. They're at home. Again, I think Mike Thomas is gonna have his boys ready to play. And then the Browns started off the season well last week.
Can the Browns?
I'm gonna go with the Browns, man. I'm gonna say the Browns can stack it up and get 2 back-to-back wins. And the Steelers start 0-2 this season. So I got the Browns winning this one, and I got the Browns covering the 2.5-point spread as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns. Cam Hayward being banged up is a big part of my reasoning here, but give me the Browns in this one. No, give me the Browns. Give me the Browns. I gotta feel confident in my pick. Give me the Browns. Cleveland Browns win. Cleveland Browns cover. Where you at, AB?
I'm with the Browns. I feel like they'll take the show on the road. Like you said, had a good showing in week 1. Surprised a lot of people. Defense came out balling. Held Joe Burrow to 82 yards. I got Cleveland Browns, man. But again, You never know here with this matchup. Two teams that's gonna come and fight, man. But I'm gonna stick with the Browns.
Yeah, and you know what? We got to make a pick here. In real life, I would stay away from this one and just enjoy the tough, hard-nosed football I expect. But we're here to make a pick, so we both picking the Browns here. But I expect a tough AFC North battle tonight for sure, man, to round out and close out week 2, which, still teams finding their identities and creating their identities really at this point in the season. Every year, regardless of how many returning starters and coaches and coordinators you got back, every year is a new team and a new group in that locker room. So guys and gals are still figuring themselves out as an organization, as a team this year. So I think we'll see more of that Monday night with both of these divisional matchups. Yeah, a lot of great football, great NFL talk, man. Before we get out of here, though, I gotta talk F1 a little bit. We talked a little bit last week, Thursday, when I made a prediction because I asked you first, hey, AB, who you got winning? Who you got winning this week? And you went out on the limb. I don't know if I'm gonna put the video in there, but you went out on a limb and picked Max Verstappen to win his 11th win in a row.
I did.
Okay, let me see.
Hold on. Here you go.
This is the race.
That Max wins.
Nah. Carlos Sainz Ferrari is going to win this race in Singapore. I called it right here. Thursday, September 14th. The race will be Sunday morning, I believe. Singapore Grand Prix. Ferrari, Carlos Sainz is going to win it.
Shit, that was a good call right there, D-Buck.
Hey, I wish.
Hell of a call right there.
I just wish I went on the FanDuel Sportsbook and bet it. I know the odds were great. I think it was probably plus 1,000 at that point.
You ain't believe, man.
Man, this is before, practice and qualifying and any of that. But just felt like this is the week, Singapore, the Red Bull struggles a little bit. Max struggles a little. And this would have been his 11th win in a row, which is crazy. But they had a terrible weekend. Red Bull did. But great weekend for F1. Great race. Actually, we had some fights up front. Carlos Sainz did get pole position in qualifying and pretty much controlled the race for the entire time to go and get a win, an impressive win. But it was some, Mercedes, they had the pace to win it. Lewis and George were in it all the way into the final lap. George crashed on, I think, the final or the second to last lap. Lewis was in P4 at that point, but he got another podium. I think 196 podiums now, which is breaking his own record at this point. But shout out to Carlos Sainz, and that Ferrari, man, getting the win. I think it was great for F1 to have some different winners and some different guys on the podium at the top. Speaking of podiums, Michael Schumacher now is the only driver in Formula One history to have a season where he's made the podium in 100% of the races. Now that Max didn't make the podium on this one, I think he ended up P5 at the end of this race. So shout out to Formula One, finally having a race, where AB couldn't just, pick the winner 4 days in advance. Man.
Max, you let me down, man. You let me down, man. So, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in. D-Butt is going to be on the Pat McAfee show. What time y'all start?
12 over at ESPN and still on YouTube right here where we are right now, still on the YouTube page, also on ESPN's YouTube page. I will be in the Thunderdome Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday all year long.
There you go. I'll be on Jim Rome today at 12:40.
Oh, me.
And also, man, before we get out of here, man, I just want to on a lighter note, we got some news that one of our former teammates, Sergio Brown, man, is missing.
Yeah.
They ended up, finding his mother deceased behind their home in Illinois. So again, I know their family's grieving, and just want to hope and wish that they find Sergio safe. Again, this is a I know it's a trying time for their family, man, but I just couldn't end the show without, just sending that prayer out for Sergio, man. So that shit sad. Just when that shit come across the phone, man, it's just
man. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, knowing Sergio, knowing his mother. I've known Sergio since he came to the league. We were teammates in New England first, my last year in New England, and then teammates again in Indy, and known him obviously after football as well. Tough, man, scary situation, still unfolding, a lot of details still coming out, but like you said, his mother was found deceased, so sending positive energy to that family, and like you said, hoping we find Sergio safe, but just sending prayers and good energy to everyone involved in that situation. And it's tough out here. A lot of former teammates, friends of ours, friends of mine. It's just different things just keep happening, it seems, man. So it's tough. Check on your people, love on your people, and check in with yourself. Love on yourself first and foremost too, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. Life, life is life, and for everybody out there at this point. So it's not weak, looking or calling out or asking for help, wherever that may be. So sending that positive energy to you guys out there, you guys and gals obviously out there as well.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. You said it right. Growing up, it's like, man, it's not good to be selfish. But shit, the more I live, man, like I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being selfish, man. Like selfish with your time, selfish with your energy, just knowing who you give your energy to, what type of energy you bring around. Like again, like the more I sit back and shit, I done went and sat down in front of somebody and had just got a therapist and just having those conversations and get to a space where you can't be vulnerable. You know what I mean? I think a lot of time, I know especially as Black men, that's something that we struggle with, being able to sit down and tell somebody, look, I need help here, or asking for help, or just talking about problems. But again, like now, this stage of my life, man, look, I'm gonna be selfish. I don't care what nobody think about that. I'm gonna be selfish with my family. I'm gonna be selfish with my money. I'm gonna be selfish with my time. And again, like I said, that energy that you will allow around you and around your immediate family, like, man, it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, when you start going through shit, guess you only know one person for sure that's gonna be there with you. That's when you go through, and that's gonna be your damn self.
Yeah,
you have to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's
like
tough,
you said,
man. Yeah.
Tough, man. But before we get out, I want to show. I had my I'm gonna keep a recap with y'all on this HBCU thing, man. I'm starting to get a groove for it, starting to get more comfortable, man. This is week 3 for me. We had Bowie State and Shaw this week, a CIAA matchup. But again, man, some good players out there. When I played, we didn't play against the CIAA. We didn't play against the SIAC or the two conferences that I'm covering. But I obviously knew some guys that playing at this level. But the more and more I sit there in the booth, man, it's players everywhere. And I continue to say that day in and day out, man. It's players everywhere. And there was some guys that's out there that can play some ball. Again, I just talk about in the booth, like the shit that I'm learning day to day. You know what I mean? Hey, look, this is camera 1 here, 2, 3. This is where camera 4 is going to be. This is where camera 6 and 7 are going to be. This is where camera 5 and 9 is going to be. So as a color analyst, it's like, yo, get on that talk back and say, hey, yo, give me that tight view camera 6 or camera 7, or give me that all 22 from camera 4. You know what I mean? So now I'm, being able to ask those questions, like, okay, well, what does this mean? Like, you know what I mean? Well, the guy that has the handheld camera, like, who is he following? Like, why is he following? You know what I mean? So again, man, starting to take a real liking to it. And then even like the week process, it's kind of like you preparing for game day.
Yeah, you got to find your flow.
Got to find your flow. Got to watch your film. You know, you got to write your questions down for when the coaches meeting that week. And then, you know, for me, I have my segment AB's Dogs where I pick my dog. You know, who's gonna be the dog this week? And I gotta pick the right player because shit, I can't pick a dog. And obviously, you know, players gonna have ebbs and flows of their season.
Yep.
They might play well, they might not play well, but at the end of the day, man, I'm starting to like it again, man. HBCU Go. You can download the HBCU Go TV. Also, it's on the Grio. It's on Roku as well. So if y'all want to tap in, man, and see some ball that y'all might not usually tune into, but I promise you, man, you'll be surprised at the content, man, and the product that they produce out there on the field.
And how I got a question about this game. How did Bowie State get this win, man? This is another week now, Shaw. Obviously, you spoke in their talent. I feel like every week, and I saw the stats, even the time of possession, the yardage that Shaw was leading hot at.
Yeah, so
how did Bowie State get this dub, man?
Man, so they going into the half, it was 6-0. Was it 6-0 or 7-0? 7-0 Bowie, and they got that score off of a block punt. And they scored. You know what I mean? Shaw defense was playing really well. Shaw was able to move the ball down the field. They wasn't able to, capitalize on their opportunities. They missed the field goal. Then after that, they went down. They went forward on fourth down. They didn't score. Shaw was able to get a block kick. He scooped it, returned it to the 10-yard line. They couldn't punch it in. Bowie, they ended up after the first half. Shaw held them to like 30 yards in the first half. So they ended up going to their second string quarterback. Bowie State did. Asa Williams came and drove the ball down the field, got Bowie State going. And again, man, Shaw, they just couldn't capitalize on the opportunities. And Bowie State, man, they just got the offense going. And then from there, it was just a tale of two halves for them. But Shaw, man, 0-2. They started, it was preseason. They was ranked 4.
Oh, man.
But it's crazy. The past 2 years, they started 0-2. And then they've been able to run the table. So we'll see if they can get it turned around. But it was a good matchup, man. Good matchup.
Come on, Shaw. I know a couple of y'all alums now, and I learned last week, was it Thursday? First HBCU in the South too. So definitely root for y'all, man.
Yeah.
But another loss. Let's see if y'all can figure it out, man, and keep doing your thing in that booth, man. I know it's a whole new world in there. Keep doing your thing in there, bro.
Man, appreciate it, my guy. Man, on Thursday, we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Thursday, we'll be back. Same time, same place. 8 a.m. Eastern. It's Monday, man. Y'all get y'all 30 minutes in.
Got to health as well.
Health as well. Again, man, tap in with AB. Not AB, but D-Butt.
Yes,
D-Butt. And the boys, 12 o'clock on ESPN. They'll be on YouTube as well.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch y'all on Thursday.
Oh.
Man to man, yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man, they don't know how to beat us. Man to man, 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 yeah, man. That's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad. Just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, man to man, man to man, man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it.
Peace. We gone.